ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to have you a part of our special edition TRD Pro Bros off-road, right? We're going to take these vehicles off-road in the Colorado mountains. Here's the cool thing, and I know this is going to get you excited, my friend.
I'm trying to contain
We're
myself.
talking MTS. We're talking TNGAF. We're talking all these cool acronyms that make our product special. What do you think, Andrew?
I mean, it's going to be a really good experience, and that's the key word here is experience, right? We've got all these technologies, we've talked about them, but what does that mean? How do those pan out in real life? And who are we doing that with, right? So we've got expert teachers, not us, right? We're decent teachers. Expert teachers, expert technology, and the experience that comes from putting those two together.
Yeah, and it's cool when we talk about experience because I got to drive with our illustrious Ashland Booth, who handles all of our accessories for our 6 states for Toyota. Let's pan right there. All right, guys, TRD Pro Bro 1 MJ40, and I'm with the illustrious Ashland. She is the accessory manager for the Denver region, and we are here in a Tacoma TRD Pro about to go big on these moguls.
Big.
We've teamed up with OLT 4x4. These are the top people in off-roading. They're internationally certified four-wheel drive instructors. They've got knowledge, experience, really great group of people.
Yeah, and let's pan too, because you got a great interview with Kurt.
We had to corner him.
Yeah, it was amazing. So let's go take you there.
What's up, everybody? I'm Andrew. I'm here with Kurt Williams. We're up here in Netherlands. We're at the TRD Off-Road Experience. We've been going through a bunch of different courses and trails and discussions and trainings with the OLT 4x4 team. They are the best that there is. And that's why I pulled Kurt over here. We want to ask him a couple of questions. Thank you, first of all, for doing all this for us. We've had media come through. We've had dealer people come through. We've had region associates come through. So I just wanted to ask you, from this experience and what you guys have gone through, you put together a ton of training. Give me a high and a low. What's a low knowledge point that most people kind of were struggling with, or that was a new thing for them that they were learning? And what's something that you kind of saw as a trend that they all pretty well understood that was a strong point in the crowd?
Yeah, I'm happy to tackle those. First, thanks for having us. We've really enjoyed getting to spend time with all the guests. It's been fun to see all the different experience levels and all the different love for different platforms. Like everyone's got their camp, you know, their team Tacoma or their team Forerunner.
Right.
It's been fun to see that. I'd say one of the, I wouldn't call it a low point, but maybe a low point of visibility was it's because it's a new feature. It's going to be the stabilizer bar, the disconnect front sway bar.
Yeah.
We're seeing a ton of questions on, okay, tell me when a real off-roader pushes that button.
Yeah.
I get what it does to some degree. Some didn't know, and so we're showing that.
Yeah.
But a lot are saying, when would I use that? So that's cool to get that visibility and then show it on our articulation course and our off-road trail ride. Yeah, I felt the difference. Like not only do I see what it did from outside, but now I'm inside the vehicle. I feel how much more level the whole thing stayed, less head nod, how much smoother the platform is.
And they probably saw, like, I see it on the list and what the price is. Why am I paying that price for this thing, right? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So why would I buy that?
Yeah, that would throw you off if you didn't know what it did. I think anyone that doesn't have it and wants it would say, like, I would pay that in a heartbeat if I could add that to my older platform, right?
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah. I'd say one that everybody's feeling pretty comfortable on is going to be a rear locker. And that's because we've seen it across so many platforms, all the new platforms, and it's been around for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So we're seeing an old one. But I'm going to go back to another one that we're seeing some visibility or a lot of questions on, which is awesome, is, okay, well, when do I use a rear locker versus crawl control or multi-train select? Like when, what's the time to use each of those?
Yeah.
So it's been fun to showcase those on our different courses here, and certainly on the real world trail ride of when those make sense to use and when they don't. Because our heart may always say, like, nah, I've got a locker, I'm going to push that button.
Yeah. Well, it's been around for so long.
Around for so long.
I'm familiar with that button.
Yeah, we've seen, I mean, like Toyota has had that in many platforms since, well, into the 80s, 90s, you know, like older cable locker and then e-locker. Now we're seeing it platform wide as a cool option. on many different platforms.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, comfortable with that. But then they're saying, well, this other cool tool, why would I use that instead? And there are times where it makes sense to use crawl control and multi-terrain select because of the ability to still have some steering input or to turn on high traction surfaces like Moab, right?
Yeah.
And that locker can, any locker will want to keep those tires turning the exact same speed. So it's going to limit your ability. So it's fun to showcase that because we can tell it on a PowerPoint.
For sure.
You can sit in a classroom and hear that, but when you feel that in the real world, you have that aha moment like, oh, that just made sense.
Especially for these systems that end up, they do overlap, and there's lots of situations where you've got a combination of them. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
Yeah, it's not one turns off the other. They kind of build upon each other. And we definitely tried to drive that point home that crawl control's working, you got your multi-terrain select, it's working with that. Now it knows what terrain you're in, so it's allowing different wheel spin. And then that locker, if needed, controls the back end. The front still has the multi-terrain select and the crawl control working. It's all working in tandem, like together, not one or the other.
Right. That's awesome. All right, well, last question. TNJF platform, we've had all the vehicles out here. We focused on, I call them the lowercase f ones, a little bit smaller ones. But what's your number one? What would you pick and why? I know that's really hard to do.
It is
but
hard.
Maybe pick one feature. It's like, this is the feature I was looking for. I'll go with that one.
Yeah, I'm still a Land Cruiser guy. So
I
love the others. I love that every Land Cruiser, regardless of trim, regardless of which package, which platform, has a rear locker.
Yes.
So it's standardized across. They all, of course, have a center locking diff because they are full-time four-wheel drive. I like full-time four-wheel drive. Now, this is an interesting years. Now you can get that in. You've always been able to get the 4Runner for a lot of years, not always. But now there's a Tacoma with full-time four-wheel drive. So things are kind of...
We're making it harder for you.
Making it harder for options. And there's just a lot of options. And that's maybe one where there's also some visibility too, because I'm still learning about all the many options. There are 9 4Runners, right? And
I actually,
a lot of Tacomas.
To that point, I thought that 4Runner was only available in one style with the all-wheel drive. Because Tacoma, you can't get it in conventional, but you can in hybrid. But 4Runner, you can get it in both. And so someone corrected me during my training.
Just
like,
today,
hey, you're wrong.
You're wrong, by the way. So
there's another variation.
I think that's cool. I mean, for a lot of years, we've recognized, or we've always kind of known Toyota had very set packages. Like this one always came with that. This one always came with that, and that worked. But now I think more than ever, we're seeing many variables. You can order different things. You can add. We talked about sway bar discount can be add abstracted when you're purchasing one on different platforms. Standard on some, options on others. That's cool. Gives many options. It does require a little more research, and so maybe
you need to know what it is.
And those representing that to the customers, clients, and sharing that information need to be familiar with that as well. And I think this is doing a lot of that here, helping with that.
Totally. Well, thank you again. You guys are the best. This is awesome. And till next time.
Love those guys at OLT. Totally rad, dude. TRD. What'd you say?
They're amazing. I always want to hang out with them and learn from them and everything else. But we also are missing a critical character here, right? Where's Curbside? And what is he doing?
Curbside, where?
It's time to check in with him and see
Where
what
are you,
he's got
Curbside?
for us.
Let's take you to Curbside.
Curbside Keller back again here in Nederland, Colorado at the TRD Off-Road Drive Experience with longtime friend Jared Black here from Peterson Toyota. Jared, what do you think about this TRD Drive Experience?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Keller, the event is phenomenal. Quite frankly, the technology to get out and be able to actually use it and be hands-on with how to use the features and to really understand the technologies just blows my mind, quite frankly. I think we can learn a lot from it. And quite frankly, how do we take it back to the store and then teach our staff and then really get the customers engaged with the same thing?
Okay, we're up here. We're teaching you, we're showing you the technology in these four-wheel drive Toyotas. How do we translate that into your crew, into selling it to the next customer?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it comes down to value exceeds price. And, we talk a lot about the price tags of the TRD Pros and the Trail Hunters and some of the other vehicles that we have. When you talk about this technology, it becomes priceless, to be quite frank. And so if we can get our sales staff to understand how to use the technology and get the customers to use it before the sale, it's where the value would exceed the price. And really, that's when magic happens.
Curbside Keller back again here in Nederland, Colorado at the TRD Off-Road Drive Experience. Here with Dylan Page, a great friend from Toyota Colorado Springs. Okay, Dylan, A-list, MJ, always talking about TRD, saying totally rad dude. We love TRD. We think it's great. What do you think about TRD?
There's nothing else like it. I mean, look at it. So, I mean, It's a head turner, but then on the inside, it's just as capable as you would expect how it looks on the outside. So it's the real deal, man. It looks cool, makes you feel cool, it does cool things, and it's extremely well built. It's got the Toyota badge on the front. There's nothing like it. This is the one.
Well, that's a Dylan perspective, and I love that. How about a customer perspective?
I think it's kind of similar. There's not a lot out there like this, and I think it's an easy way to get into some of the enthusiast side of what these things are capable of. And even if you're just going to the grocery store in this thing, you're the coolest car in the grocery store parking lot.
So MJ and A-List are right. Totally rad, dude.
Totally rad.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's your bro Cha-Cha, Mountain Meg. We're out here in the mountains for real today. And I wanted to share with you my experience with driving the Land Cruiser on our TRD Off-Road Experience because honestly, it was sort of a game changer for me. So, over the years of learning how to camp in the wilderness, I have been driving an Impala, an old Chevy Tahoe, and finally joined the Toyota family with more recently the Tundra. So I have a few different vehicles to compare this Land Cruiser to, right? And I would say compared to the Tundra, the Land Cruiser feels obviously so nimble. You're not gonna have that giant truck bed that you're worried about scraping behind you. And so I felt like I really, ask MJ, took full advantage of that. We were cruising through those ditches and I wanted to know, where am I gonna scrape? Where am I gonna clear? Maybe a little bit of caution around that hitch cover, but I wouldn't mind if mine broke off anyway. But otherwise, it was a really good experience. The big difference makers to me were, first of all, the crawl control. Incredible just to see how that technology works with creeping you out so effortlessly on those higher degree angles. And then also the center differential and the rear locking differential. It was honestly hard to get a wheel to come off of the ground, which was sort of my whole goal for the day. We did get there, but it was difficult. So to see the articulation in those wheels and how it gave me so much confidence that I could tackle anything that the trail was gonna bring my way. Including the skid plate on the bottom. It lets you kind of push the gas to the floor a little bit more in those situations. So super fun experience. Shout out to the Land Cruiser. The tiniest style notes, right? The round headlights, all of that. It just even looks way prettier than my old Tahoe or my Impala. So really appreciated the opportunity to get to drive this vehicle today.
What you didn't see in that video was me bouncing around as Meg was tearing up those roads. She was aggressive, maybe a little bit too aggressive, but I couldn't say anything because she was smiling the entire time, showing you what TNGAF frames and our off-road systems do for your average person that wants to go off-roading. So we have someone else that actually is integrated into actually how our cars are built.
Yeah, and why they're so great.
Yeah, and what's the vehicle that she's in charge of?
Forerunner.
Forerunner?
It's a special vehicle for all of us, right?
Yeah.
We know it, we love it. Cynthia Barreras is who we go to for that information. She's working on the marketing, the plans. How do we get more of these out to more people and have a greater effect and share the love that we all have for it? She's awesome, so let's get to that interview with her.
Before they cut off, can I say I heart CB?
That's right.
I love CB. She's the best.
All right, so one, super stoked to see that we're bringing in the dealers to actually get this experience, because when else are they going to get such dedicated things to be able to be behind the wheel? We talk about cheeks in the seat, being behind the wheel, being able to control the buttons, being able to feel the difference. If they've done test drives and they're used to the 5th gen Foreigners, the previous gen Tacomas, that's an experience and they have that tribal knowledge and they know how to kind of connect those features. But now we're giving them the opportunity to do with the new one, and they're doing the articulation, seeing that the vehicles feel steady, feel strong, and it has a lot to do with the TNGA platform because it allows them to do all of these great things in a stock truck. I mean, how you feel secure, you feel safe, you feel the quality under the truck, and it's like, how by now you're a believer, now you can go ahead and share kind of that gospel to your customers with confidence to say, I've done that. No, I know this button exists, but let me tell you when you use this button. Let me tell you how it changes the power to the wheels. Let me tell you when you want more spin off, and it gives them more confidence because they have the context of that experience. One, I think, not I think. TRD has proven itself. The quality, the design, the thought process. When you look at prior to TRD and all the things that have evolved since then, you say TRD Pro and you don't have to say anything else. They're like, yep, got it. You have your TRD Off-Road. It's a stamp. It's a badge of honor. It's a badge of trust. It's a badge of quality engineering, quality thought. It has done its job by existing as is. You don't need to change anything about it. You don't need to overly explain it. You say what it is, and over the 10 years since it's been around on our truck lineup, it's proven its case day to day. Day to day drivers will tell you why they love their TRD. I think TRD, when we think about what Akio has done when he's come into Toyota, there is a stylistic coolness, a factor that comes with TRD. It's not just the fact that the R looks like a racetrack. It's not just the red stitching or the red accents. It's that it comes with this depth, and then you also have the stylistic features of it. So I think it's a culmination of saying, here's the engineering behind it. It's TRD, Toyota Racing Development. This is featured to not just be your daily driver. This is not exactly thinking, hey, I'm going to make their commute to work on the highway a specific way. This is racing development where you bring it over to your truck, and it talks about suspension, and it thinks about what are you doing with your wheels? Where are you displacing your weight? How does it feel on the frame? It's all that, and then you look freaking cool doing it. All right, so 4Runner, anyone who knows me at Toyota, especially headquarters, if someone mentions 4Runner, they're gonna hear woo, and they're like, yep, that's Cynthia, that's the 4Runner planner. I fell in love with 4Runner through planning for this 6th generation because there are loyalists who have been following it for over 4 decades. They have a story. They have a connection to it. They've trusted. They've built this truck. They've built this relationship with this truck over years. Something that happened, maybe an uncle, a cousin, an aunt had it, and they're like, I remember a fun adventure. It is your adventure-ready SUV, but there's so much QDR behind it, and there's so many intentional nuances. 6th Gen takes all of the things that people love, power rear window, shout out, bringing it back, but saying, we see you, community, we see what you love, we're not going to take that away, but we're going to enhance and bring you all the innovation you've been asking for with the security of saying you're driving a 4Runner.
All right, folks, did we offer an amazing podcast with some cool stuff in it? So stoked to be up in the mountains, don't you think?
Always good.
Yeah, and
Always
we're not going to
good.
give you an A-list top 5 because you saw accessories everywhere, right?
That's right.
But if you were to throw out one accessory, since we can't do 5, what would it be?
It's going to be the new TRD wheels for the 4Runner. They're gorgeous. They're
Yeah.
flat black.
Yeah.
That's all we need to say,
Yeah.
right? And we're going to...
And we know Mountain Meg loves the black
That's
4Runners, right? If
Yes.
Mountain Meg endorsed it,
Yeah.
it's got to be good.
We're all good.
So we want to thank you for joining us up here in the mountains, checking out our product with us, spending time with the TRD Pro Bros and Mountain Meg, the Brochacha.
That's right.
And we're going to sign off. So we love you guys. Let's give a little heart.
We'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.